President-elect Donald Trump has filled another high-level post. Campaign source confirms that South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley has agreed to be U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Now, Haley is the first woman chosen for a cabinet-level job in the new administration. In the Republican primary, she endorsed Marco Rubio and criticized Donald Trump. The president-elect tweeted this months ago, "The people of South Carolina are embarrassed by Nikki Haley." Mr. Trump flew to Florida last night for Thanksgiving after an on-the-record interview with reporters from the New York Times. Chip Reid shows us why now some of his loudest supporters are unhappy with what he said. Chip, good morning.
Well, good morning. Mr. Trump left New York after sitting down with the newspaper he has repeatedly called dishonest. But on his way out, he called the New York Times an American jewel. And that wasn't the only about-face he made yesterday.
The failing New York Times, and it is failing.
Despite what he called the newspaper, Mr. Trump was all smiles after a closed-door meeting with the New York Times, where reporters live-tweeted nearly every minute, exposing significant shifts in policy.
If I win, I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor to look into your situation.
Including his long-standing promise to appoint a special prosecutor to investigate Hillary Clinton's use of private email servers as Secretary of State.
That would be a very good first step. That's a good first step.
One reporter tweeted that Mr. Trump said, "I don't want to hurt the Clintons. I really don't. She went through a lot and suffered greatly in many different ways." Later, he added, "I think it would be very, very divisive for the country."
A lot of it's a hoax. It's a hoax.
He also seemed to change his tune on climate change from a hoax perpetrated by the Chinese to a phenomenon linked to human activity. Trump's chief strategist, Steve Bannon, is the former head of the conservative website Breitbart, who in an interview with Mother Jones magazine last summer said, "We're the platform for the alt-right, a conservative movement popular with white nationalists." Asked about the alt-right Tuesday, Mr. Trump told The Times, "I don't want to energize the group, and I disavow the group."
I would bring back waterboarding, and I'd bring back a hell of a lot worse than waterboarding.
That was Trump on torture, but yesterday he told The Times he was surprised that General James Mattis, the candidate he is seriously considering for defense secretary, didn't favor it, leaving the door open for a change. Mattis is one of a number of leading cabinet contenders. The list includes former campaign foe Mitt Romney, who's up for Secretary of State, and Ben Carson is being considered for Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, even telling Fox he's been offered the job.
That was one of the offers that's on the table.
Trump also revealed he may get his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, involved in the Middle East peace process. Kushner has been a close advisor to the president-elect throughout the campaign and key in his outreach to the Jewish community. Yesterday, Trump told Times reporters he'd love to be the one to solve the Israel-Palestine conflict, and Kushner could help. Charlie?
Hey, thanks, Chip.